Hey everyone. So if anyone saw my the Suicide Squad kills the Justice League trailer Batman reveal, I didn't know at the time that Kevin actually passed away. I didn't. I know it was a month ago. I just didn't know. And the only reason I know now is because I saw "Thank you, Kevin" at the end, and obviously it clicked. It's like, wait, why is he getting a super special shout out? So I looked online, just Kevin Conroy. One of the very first things that popped up on Google was death, and clicked on that. Obviously, found out 4 months ago. Man, I just don't know how I didn't hear about it at all. Like how it didn't come by me. But God, I'm a Batman fan. I'm not like a massive Batman fan like a lot of you guys out there, but damn, I grew up watching Batman. Like a lot of us did. Everyone knows Batman. He taught us a lot of our morals. For me, a lot of my morals come from Goku and Batman and like all those cartoon characters and comic book characters, manga, all that. They taught me to be a decent human being. So I actually have to thank TV for that. But still, finding out that the OG Batman, like this is all of our Batman. It doesn't matter who you are when you think about the number one Batman. A lot of people they may start discussing, but then you're like Kevin Conroy, and then it just drops because it's like, yeah, he's been Batman forever in like every adaptation. That's just not on screen, and that's why voice actors don't get enough love. And Charles Martinet, everyone knows that situation with Super Mario and Chris Pratt. I think that's a little different than this one. Because obviously I'm talking about someone who passed away recently. So I don't even know what I was going on about there. Shut up, Joe. Stick on topic. I just want to say thank you to all you guys. I love you guys. Sorry. I'm still kind of mourning. This is just really recent. But I'm going to let someone else take it from here. And I'm going to finish this video with a reaction. And this is Kevin Smith talking about the last time, essentially, he had a conversation with Kevin. So I'm just going to get to it.
And with all due respect to Ben Affleck, we recently lost the definitive Batman.
Yeah.
Kevin Conroy.
Yeah.
And I was just wondering if you had any personal anecdotes or stories you'd like to share.
I would love to. Thank you for fucking affording me the moment. I first watched the Batman animated series like everybody else. Everybody else who was alive when it was on. When it first started airing on Fox. They did it as a primetime show first, and then it moved to the afternoons. As a comic book loving kid, as we all know, that is still remains one of the absolute best representations of Batman and Gotham in any media across all forms. And that voice, the voice of Batman, as portrayed by Kevin Conroy, and of course Bruce Wayne, he does Bruce Wayne as well, became the voice very quickly, within a year, became the voice that I heard whenever I read a comic book, because he became the definitive Batman. So I knew him first as a fan of the man's work. And then thanks to the shit that I do for a living, I wind up gravitating toward or circling people I admire. We kind of work in the same field and stuff, and I'm very fanboy oriented, so people find out I like a thing and stuff, and we wind up in the same circles. So I'd known Kevin for a few years. I met him at cons and stuff like that, very briefly, always deferential to him. I knew he was a big theater kid, Broadway guy. And I knew I wanted to get him when I started Fat Man on Batman, the podcast. I wanted to get him to come on. We went to New York to record him at the studios where they do the Moth. I had to rent a place and stuff, rather than make him go down to Jersey or drag him out to California. And I met him. He's a tall, fucking wonderful guy. You've seen what he looks like, but I remember the first time I saw him, I was like, that's Batman? Like, that voice comes out of that guy and shit? Milky fucking voice of steady stability, voice of justice and comfort, because he could easily dial it up to be like, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you for stealing that purse, or, I've got you. it's okay. The voice of comfort in the worst moment of all time of your life. So he came in and we did a whole show, and he's absolutely wonderful. I think we're putting it up this week because it all went beyond a paywall years ago, but we're going to put that episode up for everybody here. But in the episode, like I was going through some shit with Red State, and a bunch of people were like, "You're a fucking idiot," and blah, blah, blah. So I asked him very pathetically, I was like, can you tell me that I'm doing okay as Batman? Like,
I remember that. Yeah, I listened to it.
and he fucking took it so seriously, and he put on the Batman voice and was literally said everything I've needed to hear, particularly at that moment in time. So, you know, it was fun for the bit. People on the podcast loved it. But what people didn't know is I clipped that off, and it was on my next 3 phones. And whenever I was like at my lowest, I would fucking dig it up, and Batman would be like, "You're doing the right thing, Kevin." And I was like, "Yeah, sorry." He was a magic fucking man. He came in and played, if you've ever seen Yoga Hosers, he came in and did a quick scene. I put it up. You could skip the movie. You could see it in the one tweet I put up the other day. But he came and played, and he was just so lovely. Everybody, you know, I introduced him. I was like, "This is one of the fucking, he's done many things, but he'll forever be known as this guy." And everyone went nuts and shit. And he was just like, "I am the knight." It was really, really sweet. I was just having a text conversation with him like 2 weeks, I was just having a text conversation with him 2 weeks ago about coming to Smodcast. Well, I had sent him an email, because I thought I had his number, but it was a different Kevin Conroy. And so I sent him an email instead, and I never check email. And said, "Hey man, I'm doing a bunch of things. I want you to come to Smodcastle, and we're gonna watch like the fucking episodes of Batman that made me cry, and we're gonna talk about them." And one of them is like the Justice League episode where, you know, Ace of the Royal Flush Gang dies. That always circulates on Twitter. It's
Yeah.
fucking insanely moving. So I was like, we're gonna pick the fucking ones that make us cry. We're gonna sit down and fucking do a retrospective. And I didn't hear from him, and then he texted me out of the blue, and he was like, "Did you get my emails?" And I hadn't, because I never checked email. And he's like, "I've been a little under the weather, but I would love to come to the theater and do that. Let's aim for the beginning of 2023. And I was like, "Okay, Batman." And then fucking the people I work with at Masters of the Universe, because he was Merman for us, texted me early the other morning, and they were just like, "Kevin's gone." I fucking ran to my emails to read what he had written. Sucks losing anybody that's exceptional at their job, right? Let's just start there. The man was exceptional at what he did. Sucks when you lose the ones that are like beautiful human beings. That guy was such a good guy, man. Really good guy. So yeah, I'll miss him forever. I was lucky to have known him at all.
Yeah.
And more importantly, I was lucky to have had him as my Batman in my lifetime. I'll hear his voice from now until the end of time. He did his job so fucking good that even when Kevin's gone, he'll always be in my head whenever I read fucking Batman. Thanks for letting me bring him back.
Thank you, and thank you for your work.
Thank you for recording that. Kevin Smith, you're awesome, man. I couldn't have said it better at all. Man, I have a cousin, my cousin Mark, biggest Batman fan I've ever met. Everything in his house is pretty much Batman. And he's also the eldest cousin on my mom's side of the family. And I'm the youngest. And usually, like, the older cousins obviously kind of just ignore the kids because, well, they're annoying, they're young, they run around a lot, they grab your legs. When you just want to kind of have a beer at, like, Christmas Eve and just chill. But my cousin Mark would always love hanging out with me. "Oh, cousin Joey," and he would always, like, flip me around and stuff, and he always had, like, the best sense of humor and fun energy. And I don't know, maybe that has a lot to do with Batman. I don't know. But he's definitely a great human being, and whenever I think about Batman, I think about my cousin Mark, so that's another reason why I love Batman and Kevin. because he would be up to date with every single episode. He'd love comic books. He loved Marvel and DC, but mostly Batman. Batman. And some a little bit old school wrestling. Got me into wrestling, so anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this along with me. I know this is what I was planning to put up, but I just wanted to give a shout out tribute to Batman and everyone who loves Batman. Kevin especially, because man, as we just heard, you were the definitive Batman, and just thank you for everything. Thank you. Anyways, thank you guys so much. Just have a great day. Peace out.